Hello, everybody. It is the Being Mary Jane After Show, and we have special guest Sonia Rockwell. So stay tuned because you don't want to miss this.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Ooh, okay. Slow. hello, everybody. welcome. See, you know what? To the Be Mary Jane After Show here on AFTERBUZZ TV Network. I am one of your hosts here, Mr. Howard III. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at Howard III. And we have special guest in studio. She plays Emma, the weather girl on Be Mary Jane, Miss Sonia Rockwell.
Hi, everybody. Happy to be here. Thank you.
Sonia, where can they find you on your social media?
Social media outlets would be Twitter, Sonia Rockwell, #1. Instagram, Sonia Rockwell, and Facebook, Sonia Rockwell, Snapchat. Okay, I'm all over. Sonia Rockwell. Twitter's the only one where there's a -- That's what happens when people try to steal your identity.
Right? Oh my gosh.
Well, thank you, Sonia, for being here. It's awesome to have you with us. I'm Elle Marie, guys. You guys can find me on Instagram and on Twitter at Elle Marie TV. Okay.
My name is TK Trinidad. You can find me on
who's singing
everything
right now?
at TK Trinidad.
Yes, and welcome TK to the panel.
Thank you guys
TK
for
is now
having me.
officially on the panel.
Oh, is it official?
Official.
Oh, thanks, Howard.
This is
Or
the party.
Mr. Howard.
Oh, yes. And
I'm
we're
still
just
in this
missing Ronnie
motivational
today.
phase. I'm like,
Better call your boo after this show.
Trying to get some motivation in here. Yeah. So on tonight's episode, we are feeling hashtag. With tonight's episode here. So we open up with Mary Jane trying to sneak a little more information out of Justin on whether or not he has all this money that she found, the check for $30 million. She's like, hey, do you want to go to the Hamptons or do you want to go out of the country?
Yeah.
I mean, was that a slick move she tried?
she was trying it. Like, he was like, that whatever place you wanted to go to first, like, that's a $30,000 trip. Justin's like, that's a bit steep. Like, yeah, so that really didn't work for her too well.
I don't think she needs to be slick. That she just needs to. She has a job. She has a really great job. So she needs to wait it out, see if the relationship works, and then you have that conversation. Like, we're gonna be true. Let's see each other's bank statements. Or how much in debt are you in? All that good stuff. So that's gonna come to it. And if he doesn't want to show it, then he might not be the one.
Yeah,
I mean, if she finds out that's true, then what's she gonna do? It's just like if you check through your man's cell phone and you find out he's cheating. What are you supposed to do? Are you supposed to go and?
Okay, always with the logic.
I'm
always.
just saying. So like, can't do nothing with it. So
Yeah,
just
it's
move
one
on.
of those things where you have to be ready for whatever you're gonna get and ready to make the decision. Like, if you're gonna stay or leave if you find out.
Right.
if
And he
it's
has
good
a
or
job
bad.
and she has a job. I mean,
Yeah.
they're good. That's far more than some other folks.
Would you wait it out though if you found out like your mate was worth like possibly $30 million and he hasn't told you?
But does it matter?
a little
Like,
bit.
but does it matter? Because you both are working, right? That's like one of the main goals for anybody in a relationship, I hope. It's like you both have your job, you're doing something that you love, you're not dependent on anybody, you don't owe anybody any money, hopefully. I mean, if he has more, then it's all right, cool. Like, why is he going to tell somebody
Yeah. So
how much money he has? Then she might be dating him for the money and he doesn't really
True
know.
on his part, but if you found out, so you would just kind of push like, okay, he'll tell me when he wants to.
Right.
Can I chime in on that?
Yeah.
I feel like Mary Jane's character is a bit impulsive, and that is part of how she's not very tactful with a lot of things that she does. She has to know. I mean, she's also a woman. We want to know now.
Yeah, the
We want
patience is
answers
not there.
now.
Yeah.
She's a bit impatient. I feel like that has been getting her in trouble quite a bit.
Oh yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But I mean, he's doing his job. I mean, he's laying down the pipe correctly, and he has a job. Good Lord, what else do you want? You want money on top of that?
Though.
He's not.
No,
not.
I'm like
Oh.
laying down the pipe correctly.
Yeah, that's the PC version.
That does matter.
I mean, very, very much so.
You got, I like
He
to call
looks
that act
strong.
right. He's got that act right.
Oh. Okay, so moving on.
I missed you, Helen.
Okay. So we do see that Kara and MJ are finally talking.
Yes.
I thought they were going to be broken up as friends for a little bit longer, honestly, because Kara was like, I'm done,
Yeah.
you know? And then next thing you know, girl, what's the tea?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay.
Same here. I thought they were, because Ronnie and I were going, back and forth with it. I was like, no, she's really done. But you had the situation of her dealing with her father. And so that, in knowing that Mary Jane is always going to be there for her, and I think it just kind of brought her back. Without that situation, I think Kara would have still been upset and distant with Mary Jane. So that helped them bring back their friendship.
Yeah, but true friends, like, no matter if you don't talk for a year or 2 years or a couple of months, if you're a true friend, like ride or die, when it's time, you know, it'll come back together.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Timing is huge.
Yeah.
And definitely with what Kara was going through with her father dying, I think she realized, I'm not saying that it's petty, like with the relationship stuff, but at the end of the day, I mean, what really matters, is love. She just wants Mary Jane to be happy.
Yeah.
That's what she cared about. She was worried she was going to get fired. She was worried Justin was out for her. And then, she just lost her own dad. So she's like, you know what? Like, life's too short.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like that's what happened. Yeah.
Has that ever happened with you, Sonia? Have you ever had a big falling out with a friend, and then you guys decide, listen, there's this thing that happened, we're back together, we're best friends again? Let's put it to the side.
I mean, that's what happens. I mean, I'm actually kind of going through something very similar at the moment, and it's really, really hard. And a lot of it happens too, like with what happened with them, miscommunication, or one person thinks one thing and they think another thing, and then everyone's walking on eggshells and no one's really addressing it, and then people start talking, and you're kind of like, oh my God, what happened? How did we get here? And then, when you look at the big perspective of things, if like Kara and Mary Jane, they're like sisters, they're ride or die.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you want to believe that, the chips are going to fall where they may, and everything's just going to like brush over and be cool. And I believe that too. I hope so too, because I think the real intentions of the heart are there, and you never know what people are going through personally. You don't know what's going on in their life. I try to look at things objectively, even with what I'm going through right now. I'm just like, I don't want to look at a place of like anger or frustration. I really want to look at a place from love. Like, all right, maybe there's something I don't understand, and maybe I'm projecting something that I don't even mean to. And if I come from a place of love always wins.
Yeah.
Love always wins. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. And not a lot of people look at a situation that way. So
It's hard.
Yeah.
You got it's like with everything in life, like everything's perspective.
Yeah.
Your
Or take
acting,
yourself out of
everything.
out of that situation. Especially like if you're at a restaurant and the waiter is being all over the place, and like, you know what? I'm just gonna give you just having a bad day today because
Right?
I was about not to tip you, but we're just gonna pass it forward.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna give you the benefit of the
Yeah,
doubt.
yeah.
You're having a really, really bad
maybe
day.
You woke up, you found out your wife was cheating on you. We're just gonna.
I think maybe that's what Kara did. She kind of took a step back. And she's
Yeah.
like, I need to focus on what I'm going through here at the company and my job, and I need to make sure I'm good, and just need to take a step back. Sometimes you have to do that. You're like, okay, I got to just take care of me right now.
Yeah.
And the thing too, that with that relationship, she just wants the best for Mary Jane, and it's not a toxic relationship where Mary Jane is doing all this stuff and she's she got her fired or any of that stuff.
Right.
That's not what happened.
Right.
If it was a toxic relationship, then you can be like, okay, I'm done with you. But it's just that you just want the best for that person. So you have to take yourself out of the situation. If the person's gonna make the mistakes, you just let that person make the mistakes and be there to catch them when they fall.
And that's love too.
Yeah.
She is looking out for Mary Jane. She's like, watch out for Justin.
He
But
can't
then-
be trusted.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But then she's like, Mary Jane's having a different experience. So it's like, what do you do?
Right. Yeah.
Do you just let them figure it out, or do you get involved? And it's hard.
Seems like she's digmatized.
Because you didn't say what I think you
Yeah,
said,
I
or you
did.
did
I
say
did.
What
I
is
did.
digitized? Enlighten the blonde.
When you get it's when it goes. He knows. It's when it happens so right that like you just make some really bad decisions because it's just so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You just added a G.
Yeah. I just
In
know.
place
yeah,
of,
all
See,
right.
yeah.
Keep it
Just,
clean.
Yeah.
Gotcha
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. Just
But
pass
We're
it
there.
up.
I love how I cannot. I love how Kara is still looking out for MJ. She got her this little little story about the school here going down and how they want to close down the school. The budget cuts is going on. Like, listen, I got your back. I'm going to send you out there, and we're going to send Danny here to hold you down, because we see that Danny is the new it girl of Great Day.
She's like Tommy Lauren, but on Baby Mary Jane.
Yep. That's what I call her.
She's the new it girl around town. I mean, do we think that's going to happen more often? She's in all the photos. Everybody's talking about her. She's even sitting in the chair. You know, is she going to step in a lot more, you think?
It just depends on where the company is going and if they're valuing more numbers and not the news. Because even that story that Mary Jane is covering, we don't really cover stories like that today.
Right.
Like, you know, we have bits and pieces, but now we're talking about Kim K and her makeup artist. Like, that's one thing. There's a whole issue on that, but there's a whole bunch of other things that we're not even aware of because we don't read the newspaper, and the news doesn't cover it. So that story is a really important story. So the network might just, you know, bury Mary Jane because she wants to be a serious journalist, but there's not a lot of those today. And then we have somebody like a Tommy Lauren type where she's like, we want the numbers, we want her to say outlandish things, more people are going to tune in, they're going to hate her, they're going to love her, and now it's not about the news, it's more about ratings.
And I feel like they're still going in that direction with the numbers and the ratings.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say about Danny. I think she's going to stay here for a little bit longer. I don't know if she'll be bagging the anchor because of tonight's episode, how she was talking back.
Definitely got in her place, you know, and did get her pulled because I think they said something about like, oh, she won't be covering. So in that moment, but I definitely think she'll be back, and she'll be back to stir the pot and everything again. So,
and she's younger. Like, news replaces, like, they're nicer to men, but women, they replace them quick. Like, I mean, black people don't crack, but you can see the difference. Like, Mary Jane's not 21.
Right.
So, you know, that's going to be an issue, too. Same thing that happened with Rhonda, that's going to happen with Mary Jane sooner or later. So.
You are right. They did bring Danny Hollins on as like a millennial. I remember her character breakdown came out. She's supposed to be like 21 years old. So she's bringing that extra spice and young flair. Because Mary Jane, she just turned 40. Like you said, Rhonda, they wanted a millennial. Yeah.
And she's probably on her parents' insurance. So.
For another 5 years.
What's Danny like in person? Is that accent real?
Oh my gosh, no, it's not. I absolutely love her. Name's Victoria. We actually became really good friends. It's really funny. As you can see, I'm blonde, and on the show, I'm a brunette. I actually auditioned for Danny's role, and it was between the two of us, and they just couldn't decide. And finally, they booked Danny, and Gabrielle Union. She actually had a big say in me being on this show. She was like, you were so great, Sonia. We had to find something for you. So we offered you Emma. I was so excited. And then when I got there, they're like, you're going to have black hair. I'm like, oh, okay. I get it. You can't have two blondes on the show.
Right.
And at first I was a little like, okay, let's see who this girl is that booked the role I went out for. And I just fell in love with Victoria. She is sweet as pie. She's got this Latin flair boyfriend. He has like this really thick accent. She literally has learned to speak Spanish fluently being with him.
Nice.
She's so in love. Yeah, she's like the little, like almost an American blonde Latin girl. It's so funny. And she's just so sweet and adorable and just bubbly. Without the accent, she is even more bubbly in person. Yeah, so adorable. I just want to squeeze her cheeks every day. Yeah, she's really,
She's
really
a good
sweet.
actress.
I was just going to say,
all right, now feeling
it's
her.
good to hear good things about it.
She's a very good actress, and she can make
You
you
love
not
to
like
hate
her.
her.
Yeah.
It's she is actually annoyed of her own character because we're all like, we don't want to strangle you. You know that, right? She's like, I want to strangle myself. I get so worried every time the next script comes out. She's like, am I going to be off? Like, am I coming back the next episode? Why am I a train wreck? And I'm like, yeah, just embrace it. You're just the drama.
Yeah, she's doing a good job.
Yeah. I was like, I'm jealous. I was like, Emma's just so neutral. Like, she just doesn't really have an opinion, and she gets caught in these like weird situations where she just kind of has to go, okay, I'm gonna get out of here. I was like, I don't know if they know what to do with me yet.
I know. So I want to get into them actually being on grounds at the school and how the whole we see it just work out fine, everything's okay, there's interviews going on, and then it just out of nowhere this riot just comes just out the blue, pretty much. I mean, it's because of what the school board director said.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and because Danny wasn't listening to Kara and taking the notes in the direction that Kara wanted her to go in, and just Danny had her own agenda, and then the guy basically said, yes, we are going to close this school when they were protesting to try to stop that. So then they find out, oh, they're going to close it, and then they just went crazy.
Yeah, it's
you know?
frustration.
Yeah.
You know, you get to a point where you're not getting the services that you want, that you pay your taxes for, and then you get to the point where you're fighting for this, and now it feels like you're fighting for nothing because nothing got done. You didn't even have a seat to the table. So, I mean, I don't agree with destroying, your own property, but out of sheer frustration, sometimes you want to throw a glass against the wall, and that's how it happens.
Well.
Oh, the drama.
Right?
I like the parallels that they kind of draw a little bit here and there, because I'm pretty sure that story came from somewhere.
Yeah.
That's in some city somewhere where that happened. So I like how they take stuff that's going on currently that we're dealing with and put it into the show. So I wonder if somebody let Tommy Lauren know that she has just some
A little like.
similarities.
I don't know. They definitely did do that, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty awesome.
You think she watched Tommy Lauren? You think she watches Being Mary Jane?
Not at all.
No.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I mean, I did see her a couple weeks ago at Politicon, and some of the stuff that she says is kind of outlandish. But when Chelsea Handler was interviewing her, when you kind of get to certain things, she's just kind of figuring things out. And the thing is, you're figuring stuff out on a bigger stage. So I would love to see, I'm not one of those people that send her hate mail or anything like that. I kind of want to see where she's going to be in 10 years, whether she's going to help, the society or help destroy it. So it's definitely possible. So we'll see.
All right, Tommy, we'll see. So, and we also saw that Mary Jane decided to scream out her man's name when she was in this little riot. She said, just love, just babe, where you at,
Right?
There's her impulsiveness again.
Right? Yeah. Right?
And it was like, why aren't you just running for...
Right?
Exactly.
I mean, you have the mic. The police not going to stop you from
Right.
trying to leave.
And the way they shot that, there's so much space in front
Yeah.
of you. I don't know what's happening right now.
But she can't go to the right and just kind of,
Or
She panicked.
Yeah, maybe she was so scared it was she just froze in the
Yeah,
moment.
she froze.
I'll give you that. But I would have.
You can have moments like that. Like where you just freeze.
I guess, but there was all this space to the side.
True. Like I said, there was all that space, and I'm like,
It's
girl,
like
just run.
like Black People 202 when somebody starts running somewhere, you just kind of
what?
you just go.
That's your instinct.
The opposite is your instinct. Go. Just leave. Something's going down. You try to
Exactly.
you're not gonna stay in the situation.
Find out why you were girl.
Yeah.
It's like you find out why you're running.
It's like when you watch all those horror movies, the black person's the first one to go. You need to get out of that situation. So, I mean, but it's romantic. I like it.
I guess.
He should
He
have
went into
picked her
sex,
up.
right?
Yeah,
So
like that.
much better.
Yeah, that would
Oh,
have been
dramatic.
That would have been. If you're gonna go dramatic, you might as well just go
Right?
all the way.
Go all the way out. Yeah. He saved his girl. My girlfriend. is in
Yeah,
there.
and then we
You
can
claim
see,
her.
it's nothing like a man who could just it's nothing, just pick you up. Just saying,
That's hot.
it is
That's hot.
because some dudes they not lifting
Yeah,
right.
they struggle a little
They
bit.
need
The
to
knees
do
start
those
buckling.
squats.
Knees start buckling. Ankles start turning
Yeah. Gotta do those squats and step ups and some deadlifts, just make it easy or at least look easy.
I mean, I guess. I didn't like the way they filmed this episode with that whole scene because it looked like it was shot on somebody's iPhone. Was it just me? How it was real? I guess it was supposed to be like that, but it just looked real
Well, I think they were trying to
video.
show what was. Well, yeah, I see what you're saying, but I think they're just trying to show the chaos. So you're not going to get a clean shot because now you're trying to get everything, and she's trying to get something for the news because that's what reporters are supposed to put their lives in someone to report what's going down. So she's trying to get that, but she's also worrying about her safety. So I think that's what they were trying to achieve. I agree. It wasn't. Could have
It's a
been.
little iffy to me.
Yeah.
But I did like how she screamed out the name Justin, and then that we saw that this is a whole hashtag now. Everybody, who is Justin?
Yeah.
Justin.
This is where we are today, 2017. Not about the school closing.
right. That is sad.
Where are these kids gonna go?
Like,
Can they afford to even go to this school? What's the next school over? We're not talking about any of that. We asked about where Justin is.
Who was Justin?
Who is
That's our
Justin?
world today.
I know. I would like to see Justin too. When
I
Mary
was
Jane
gonna
gets-
say, like, I would want to know.
I know.
I want to know. Like,
The secret's out.
it's unfortunate,
Yes.
yeah.
Who is he? When Mary Jane gets back to the studio, we see that this "Who is Justin" hashtag is something that's just blown up. We see Ty run in and say, "Hey, girl, you screaming like Whitney did Bobby." Exactly. And I know, Sonia, you have a funny story about that line.
Oh my gosh. So I actually requested to not be in this episode because my little brother was getting married. So they had to swap my lines out with other characters in the show. And I was dying when I read Julian's lines for that because I was like, those were my lines, but they sound so much better now. With his like sassy screaming like Whitney Houston. I was like, why can't Emma say something like that? Like, why can't Emma be cool? Like, she's so straight. And I was like, the show's so much better without me.
Oh, no.
But now you're doing new things. Digitize. You can take that back to the cast.
Right.
Add it in there.
Right?
Just saying.
I loved it. I was like, oh, it's so good now. It's so much better. All right, going to this wedding. Show's good.
I love you, brother.
I know.
That was so funny. And I didn't know that behind the scenes that you guys switch lines like that. Like if somebody's not there, then maybe so-and-so can say it, or maybe somebody else can say it. I like that. I like that idea.
I think if it fits with the storyline, if it makes sense, because I was supposed to be in that scene, and Emma's got to say something here and there and comment. They're like, oh, we'll just give it a tie, and then we'll spice it up and make it sound a lot better. No, but yeah, we do have rewrites every single day. Our scripts are a different color every day. It's pink, and then it's blue, and then it's green, and you're like, oh, it's today. Oh, it's blue. Okay, white. I don't know, but yeah, they're changing, adding, deleting. Swapping, it's fun. Yeah.
Love it. Love it. So we see that with the Who is Justin hashtag. Justin is now a celebrity. They're kind of like the it couple, but he's not really feeling it in the beginning. He's like, Mary Jane, I want to keep it just me and you. I don't want my life in front of the cameras. Whereas Mary Jane is kind of like, well, we can do this. We can be that new power couple.
Right.
Should Justin get along? I mean, we saw that he did eventually get on board, but. Did he have every right to hesitate?
Yeah, and if that's it for one, I think, ooh, now he's hiding something. He's going to be exposed, so that's why he doesn't really want to be out there. But two, that could just be his personality. Not everyone wants to be out there in the forefront like that. Like he said, he wants to report the news. He doesn't want to become the news.
Right.
And you have to respect that. So on one hand, I could understand Mary Jane being like, okay, it's out there. Like everyone's talking about it. Let's just put it to rest. That wasn't like really her opinion, but I could see if she wanted to put it to rest and then move forward, go back into the hiding, you know what I mean? Things like that. But as we kind of see, just fast forward next week, she gets a little overzealous with it and it's like pushing him out there. And like now you can see why he didn't really want to do it. So I could see her point, like let's handle it now. The paparazzi, they're not going anywhere right now. Let's just put it to bed. Yeah, but later on she just goes too far.
I think because everybody's been pushing her to do social media, she got caught up in that social media buzz. It's no longer about your job.
Right.
It's more about social media and how many numbers you have and how many people you can bring to the show. So she's feeling that pressure because she knows exactly what happened to Rhonda a while ago could happen to her. So she needs to have all the ammo she can have. And the thing too is that now you're opening up a whole can of worms of his DMs popping. All these girls gonna slip into the Instagram with all types of pictures, and you like it's just leading a chubby kid to the ice cream store. It's a whole bunch of bad stuff. It's good. Like you just can't, you can't do that because I do it all the time. I see people as like a new relationship, and then they tag the boo, and then then you go on his pictures like, damn, okay, I see what you're rocking. Yeah, you can't. The smart ones, they'll put their boo in, but they'll leave the tag. They don't put the name there. They just say my boo. That's it.
Blur out the
Hashtag.
face a little
Yeah,
bit, right?
yeah, that's a smart way. You can't, because the thing is, you don't know who's seeing it.
Right.
So it's just kind of like you're putting yourself out there, and it's like she's almost risking the relationship for the story.
She is.
Right.
So and she shouldn't. That's not his personality. He could have done. Look how fine he is. He could have done that a long time ago. Been up on Tinder and Instagram, getting all those Instagram hoes. So I mean,
I'm learning something from you right now. Post the boo, don't tag the boo. Keeps you out of trouble.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that.
Note taken.
Yeah, it's not good. And then don't do the dude who has more like if it's not part of his job. And he has he's always on social media.
Yeah.
It's not necessary.
I don't like
yeah,
that.
just date a dude. It's it's not about that life. Yeah, it's so much easier.
Under 1,000 followers.
Yeah. Shoot, under 200. Good.
What?
Yeah.
You got 100 followers? I'm with you.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm here for
Yeah.
it.
We
You
go
can
together
still do
right now.
checkups and stuff like that. You don't need social media to do that. That's you're
true.
good. I will talk after the show.
So let's move on to Mary Jane's family, who actually finds out. I want to talk about Helen and Paul, and this whole story that came out of just nowhere. Paul, Frank, and Helen. Apparently, Paul and Frank used to be best friends, but Frank and Helen used to be an
smashed the
item.
homie.
And here comes Frank out of the blue, which we don't know why he showed up. Where he said to see his sister, right?
Yeah.
Out the blue, stopping by the
swagger,
house.
Now, a few episodes back, we saw Helen telling Paul oh, should we tell her, when Mary Jane was going through her breakup with Lee, oh, should we tell her, should we have this conversation, I guess. So that alluded to someone cheated, and it kind of seemed like in the moment that it was Helen, or I don't know if she cheated, but they had an issue at some point in their marriage with another party. So I think now they're bringing that in, and we're gonna know that story later on, but so I think that's why it came in to figure out so what happened back then, and what did Mary Jane witness to kind of make affect her to where she can't really hold on to relationships. So
I like the fact that they're both Richard Roundtree and Fred. I forgot his last name.
Williamson.
Fred Williamson. They're both from the Black exploitation era, and I mean he was in Black Caesar. Richard Roundtree was in, I believe, it was Shaft.
Yeah,
it was in Shaft. Like that. The fact that they just bring them back to the forefront and they're creating these opportunities for folks, and you're seeing that they still have their swag level is still on point from the 70s to now. Like good on them. I was like, oh, I remember you from somewhere, because my mom had me watch all those movies. I remember you from somewhere. So good on him. Whatever he's been doing, I sure it's that vegan lifestyle.
That vegan lifestyle.
That vegan life.
He definitely has swagger. I will just say.
Yeah.
Seen him in the trailer. Well, hello.
Yeah.
Well, hello to you.
I know, you be careful, you start slipping stuff out.
Oh, he did. I was like, who's this guy? What's going on? He definitely has swagger in real life, let me tell you.
How did I end up in my panties and my bra?
I will say the story gets juicy.
Love it.
Yeah.
Am I on the right path? Can you at least say that? Okay.
You're on the right path.
Okay.
It gets real juicy. So viewers, be advised. Stay tuned. You do
can't
not want to
wait.
miss these next episodes. The writers are getting real creative.
Tell you. Hey, old people can cheat too.
Yeah, because she pops up at the hotel later on. Frank was there with Paul. They were trying to rekindle their friendship, and Paul was not really feeling it. He's like, you didn't want to tell me your ex-lover was in town, so he wasn't feeling like hanging out with him. And then Helen kind of pushed him towards it, hang out, get your friend back and things like that. And then that didn't really work, and so she pops up at the hotel
That's
and that
all,
was a bust too.
all types of bad. So they cheated. They know about it. This guy left for how many something years now?
44 years.
Popped up at the house saying his sister, why are you even here? I don't have your number. Now Helen's like, well, you just hurt me. She showed up at the hotel. She didn't want.
Yeah.
She wanted him to all right, you coming in here.
Yeah.
She wanted some.
I never should let you go.
She wanted all that. She didn't just come for closure. They just leaving all sorts of messiness. You need to go to church. That you should stay in a hotel. She went and prayed to Jesus. Just keep the marriage intact. She didn't do that.
Do you guys think she was really working out for Frank? Because here's Helen in her living room, doing her 80s DVD.
You think she got when he was coming?
Yeah, I think she did.
Yeah.
I think he called her because he said at the
Or
hotel
she heard
he
from
just wanted-
somebody.
Yeah.
She heard from someone. And then why would she encourage her husband to hang out with him?
That is throwing me. So I guess we'll find that out later, hopefully, because that's
Maybe to throw
throwing
him
me.
off?
I'm like,
No.
but he knows about it though, so I don't know.
Yeah, he's like that kid who's like really curious. Like you just keep on poking, and then like she gets what she wants, but then she loses the person who's like been with her for this whole time. She's sacrificing a lot, like how Mary Jane did with Lee.
Yeah,
like she went. Justin ain't. That's all bad right there. All bad.
I'm Team Justin. I like Justin.
I mean, I like Justin too. He's good for a job, but I feel like if Mary Jane's gonna be like a boss and run things and all this other stuff, then she should have got a therapist, talked to a therapist, did Justin on the side, and kept Lee and kept him pushing.
Kept them both.
Kept them both.
I think the viewers are starting to see why Mary Jane has her patterns.
Yeah, it's the same
You know, now
thing
we're
every
starting
time.
to see
Yeah.
some stuff from the parents come up, and we're like, what's going on here?
But she had the conversation with her mother, and she was like, "Oh, Justin lit this fire in me that Lee didn't," and things like that. And like, I want that. And then it was like something came over the mother, and she's just like, "Yeah, I understand." Seeming like the Frank character, like that was her fire.
Yeah.
But she didn't go for her fire. She went with what was a little more safe and, like she said, the loyal, dependable husband material.
It's not even that. What happens when you touch fire?
You get burned.
Okay.
You get burned.
Like it's a classic. Even when you're a teenager, it's when you're a teenager, you always go for the bad guy because the bad guy's like, oh, he's great, he does this, he does that, and he's amazing, and all this other stuff. But that person's not really there for you. They're there for the excitement.
Exactly.
So it's just like, man, me and Mary Jane need to talk.
I just don't think Justin is all that bad.
Justin knew. Justin has a girlfriend at that time, and then Mary Jane, he knew she had a boyfriend. This dude bent her over on the workplace. They worked together. You know how many exes? That's so many sins that happen. So many sins
That really happened.
Right.
happened.
I know. There's so many sins that they committed. So Mary Jane would look like, all right, this happened. All this happened. He's willing to do that, and we both are in a relationship. That's not good. That's very messy.
You're right.
So it's like, look, you already know.
But they were both messy though. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like-
But it's just like if Mary Jane were actually really wanting a relationship and really wanting a family, she would have looked at the situation. She's like, oh, that's fun, but I'm gonna go over here where somebody truly loves me for who I am versus playing this game, because she's just going to the same pattern again with some. Come on now.
That is true.
Yeah.
And I bet you they didn't lose a condom, so they going all like all DD style. And well, if you want to find out what DD is, you can go on Twitter and I'll explain it to you. But all that, you don't know. You didn't have the conversation. Have you been tested? Like none of that. All that in the newsroom.
He did address it too in the scene where they were at the bar, and he was like, let's be real, it was just sex. We had sex one time. That's all it is. But then, the game got to him.
Yeah, he was feeling a little some type of way as well. He just kind of, I feel like it's one of those where at the time he didn't really want to mix business with pleasure. Like Justin seems like he's kind of like he has his things in order.
Right.
He keeps his life in a certain order. And I think he just didn't want things to kind of go crazy and go awry.
Do you think she's just another check off the box? Like he's got the career, check. I've got my house, check. 30 million, check. Pretty woman, check. Is she
I don't
another
think
check?
so, because like they just kind of happened. Like he wasn't really checking for her at first, and they just kind of happened.
Right.
So, and then I don't think he's that like all bad. For some reason, I don't think they're gonna keep him. That's not the one for Mary Jane. Like just because I just don't think the writers are gonna keep him there. But I feel like I could see them growing and and getting. I can.
You know why? Because he's
in a
so
lasting relationship.
he's so organized and so kind of methodical with it that he can cut off the relationship and not feel anyways. Like, all right, this is not working, so I'm just gonna need you to get your stuff, and then come to work like nothing happened. They weren't in a relationship for 2 months. Like he seems like that type of person.
He does.
So like, why you want to? Then you have your business all in the office.
But he
everybody
also
knows.
seems like if you don't get to that point, then he's gonna be very caring and supportive. No.
I don't know about that.
I'm by myself on this one. All right.
And the thing too, what he didn't think about is Mary Jane is a very emotional person,
Yeah,
so it's a
she
very messy situation. So if they were to break up, they're still in the same office, all that stuff that they had in their
That's not gonna
past.
go well.
She didn't really look at all those situations. So like Mary Jane needs a Kara. She rocks with her. That's her homegirl. And then she needs somebody like on the side, like, look, I understand the dirt that you're doing. Let's think through this. Like let's go. If you're gonna hoe out correctly. And it's like she needs that friend. So
Can we see Emma be that friend?
yeah.
I mean, let's hope so.
So you got Digimatize and you got DD. Do you know what DD means?
I have ideas. My imagination is creative.
Am I right?
Yeah. That's that Usher stuff.
No.
Hasn't been confirmed yet, allegedly.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, not Usher. Not Mr. Usher Raymond.
I was like, I never used initials with it, but I'm like,
Yeah, I'm trying to keep it classy for AfterBuzz.
You're right.
Oh,
Believe
DD.
that.
That's not where my imagination went. It was halfway there. It was halfway there.
No, but it wasn't.
Yeah, I think that's, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
One person who I am happy to see who had their little glow up is Niecy.
Yeah.
She's keeping her job. She's even helping out a friend, which I hope she copyrights that about the whole
the little car seat thing.
yeah.
It's a good idea, but my thing is, how she can get those car seats back? So say the person doesn't want to return it.
Oh yeah.
They didn't even think about that. And how did business get booming so quickly? She's like,
I
we're
mean,
gonna
maybe they
expand, girl.
fast-forward
Y'all
us.
this was like in 2 days.
Yeah, but it depends on your network. So Niecy got
That's
a lot
true.
of followers from last season because of everything that happened with the court case.
That
So
is
she
true.
has a
That is
ridiculous
true.
amount of followers. So even 10% of those followers is still a lot.
Yeah.
And if it's within a certain area, like I mean, you're good to go. And if you're a mother and you follow her and you follow her story, then you might need one. But again, I don't know. People don't return stuff. Like sometimes, like you go to rent-a-cars and they see people don't even return those. And that's so I don't know about the idea. Hopefully, they have something
She
in place.
trying,
I know. I agree. It's a great idea. It's just that I don't. Maybe I'm just don't give people the benefit of the doubt. But you lend out 10 car seats. I don't know if you're getting all 10 back.
Maybe they'll put something in place, like a
Maybe.
deposit
Yeah,
or
a little
something.
something. I mean, I'm just happy for her, keeping her job, helping out with her best friend's light bill. I was like, look at Niecy, got a little money.
She came at it first though, and I didn't really appreciate that. Like
The best friend?
Yeah, Niecy came at the best friend. Like she was like,
Oh.
"Oh, the power guy. How you let that happen?" Well, clearly she's a single mother like you. She's
Right.
struggling, and there's an issue with the child because they mentioned the child going to the doctor and not talking. So that that's expensive,
Right.
You know what I mean? So I kind of for a little bit was like, okay, Niecy, why are you being so hard on her when especially who you are coming from you,
Right.
You have no right or no place to be that way, But then she started helping her out later on, so I was like, oh, okay. But maybe your approach and your delivery to, how you talk to your friend could be a
Right.
little bit different.
But it depends. Sometimes you need that friend that's gonna call you out. Like sometimes you need that friend to push you. You'll have a friend that's like, okay, I understand. You're less like, I mean, that sucks. I understand I'm in your same place. But then you have somebody who calls you out like how do you let your phone bill get? You're damn near 30 years old. Like figure something else.
That's
Sell
what
some
I mean,
blood.
though.
Like,
I think like in that moment, it's like you said, it came to like I didn't mean to, but like it's rough right now.
Right.
So for that, and then I could see you coming like, okay, well, yeah, it's rough. Let's do something about it. Like if
Right.
you're more harsh on like, well, let's fix it, but like, girl, how you let that happen? When I just feel like I don't know, but I just feel like it was other circumstances that caused that to
I
happen.
mean, she should have a couple of notices, so she should put like 20 on it.
She had other bills.
Right? She had other bills and doctor expenses. TK
20,
Shit,
25
no.
on it.
Maybe she only put 5 on it.
I mean, I don't know, but
I definitely have one of those friends. I haven't heard from her lately, but yeah. She, Sonia, really? You know what? You're right. Oops. Yeah. Those are good friends to have.
So funny. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit more about you, Sonia. I want to
Okay.
know what's it like every day on the set? Is everybody happy? Is everybody sad? Or is just work, go home, see you tomorrow?
I will say this is my most favorite set I've ever worked on. I've worked on so many TV shows, and honestly, I don't know if it's also not being in LA, if it's the Atlanta feel, if I mean, Gabby is a huge part of it. It feels like home. I was really, really nervous, like my first day on set, because it's like you're coming into, how can I explain it, like someone else's home. So like, you're trying to be polite, you don't really know anybody, you're like walking on eggshells, you don't want to screw up, it's your first day, you don't want them to be like, oh, she sucks, why did we hire her? And everyone was just so welcoming. We all became really tight, like a family. A lot of us hang out, we're still friends, I can't give away what's happening at the end of the season, but even season 5, there's a lot of hopeful things. We all keep in touch. Like we were talking about Rainey, the girl that plays Aaliyah. We became really good friends. Victoria and I became really good friends. We became really like best friends with my hairstylist who does my wig. Even though he's in Atlanta, he came out here for a visit. It just really became like a family, and it is so much more. Like work is so much more at ease when that happens because you feel comfortable. You feel it's okay to like make a mistake or to play. Like I was listening to Ty, you know, he was talking about like fear and being nervous. You know, it really does destroy art, and you get all in your head. And just having that freedom to play and everyone's just cool with it. You know, there's so many different takes. That's why I hate watching myself because I'll be like, oh, why'd they pick that one? I thought this other one was so much better. You know, and so it just makes it so much fun. Yeah, we have a lot of fun together. Yeah, so after set, sometimes you know I'm not a series regular, so there are days that I do have 16-hour days, but there's days that I'm off, and there's days that I'm there only 6 hours, 8 hours. So we do go to dinner after, or a comedy show, or you know go see the Atlanta life a little bit. So that was really really fun. Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. And like you said, it eases the environment. When everyone likes each other.
Yeah, there was that scene I'll never forget. It was actually, I think it was in last week's episode where we're looking at Mary Jane and Justin, and we're just like,
oh yes.
You know, we literally probably spent 2 hours on that 5-10 seconds of that little bit, and they wanted a reaction from Victoria. And just like that Dee Dee over here, I was getting really creative, and we were busting out laughing. I think I even peed a little. Everyone was laughing. They're like, what'd you tell her? Because Victoria's so sweet. And she's like so innocent. She's like, oh my God, do you know what she just said to me? I was like, shh, it's for your reaction. But it like made it so much fun, and it was really late. I think it was like 1 a.m. Everyone was so tired. And so, yeah, it just makes it more fun. And then I watched on TV, I'm like, that was it? It's like, damn. Well, shoot, we had fun. The journey was good. You know? Yeah. So it was it's a great time. It's a great show.
Can we talk about Gabrielle Union's body in that outfit, though?
Oh, yeah.
Which outfit?
In her
The
lingerie.
Yeah, that lingerie.
Yeah.
Girl, those workouts are paying off. Jesus, that was amazing.
She did have
Yeah.
weights in her trailer because I'd walk by her door and they were there. So I knew she was training.
Oh yeah, she posts workouts on her Instagram. Like she goes in. Like she takes her unit off. She got the hat on. Like she goes in, and it's paying off. Wow.
She's
Yeah,
fierce.
she did look amazing.
It was like, damn, girl, okay.
Go ahead,
You said you're
Gabrielle.
jealous?
Huh?
Did you say you're jealous?
Yeah, I'm like,
Girl,
oh,
just go.
I know. Shut up, TK, just let me be jealous.
Nah, don't be jealous. Just play the Let her motivate you.
Yeah, she will. I'll be in gym tomorrow.
She motivated me. I'm gonna go tonight. Yeah. Right after I go to the McDonald's and get a plate of fish and a large fry, I'm going to the gym. Right after.
Jeez.
I promise you.
It was her body is banging.
She's banging.
Yeah,
She's
I'm telling
fierce.
you. Good on you, Dwayne.
Let's do a little bit of predictions where we predict what's going to happen next week. We only saw a little glimpse of Justin as he learns about the money.
And now, your
It's been a minute. I was
AfterBuzz
like, who was
TV
that?
We only saw him and saying, I'm going to Paris.
Yeah.
So what are we predicting? TK, you want to kick it off?
He's out. He can't
gone?
do the social media stuff. He's not about that life. Like, he hasn't done it so far, and he's been in the industry for a long period of time. Like, he's not about that life, the whole ears with the Snapchat. Like, he's not about any of that. He doesn't, like, 1 or 2 pictures, he's good, but she's going on because she's seeing the numbers grow, and everybody's encouraging her. And they haven't built up a relationship where they actually have that communication because they've just been, you know, laying the pipe all that time. So they haven't, you know, laid the foundation for the relationship.
The DD.
The DD. Well, I guess it's not dirty now. Hopefully she got tested. But hopefully. It's, you know, with you. Anyways. So I think that's going to be a big issue because if she truly wants that and it could have worked out, she's not looking at the relationship. She's looking at the overall. Like, it's like when you meet somebody, you're like, oh, I'm going to marry him, and you don't know the person's parents. Like, you already jump in like way ahead before dealing with the steps in between. So that's going to be an issue. And then Mama Mary Jane, Grandma's going to get her sauce.
Yeah.
Yes. Old time sauce.
I know. I mean, it's gonna be all types of
Think
messiness.
it's about to go down with the. I don't know. Maybe Frank's gonna come back. He is gonna have that moment of like, yeah, I should have let you go, or she's gonna try one more time to, reach out to him.
I think she's gonna try.
That. Yeah.
Because she's been like in the house for this whole time. She was sick. She's all
Yeah,
that. She hasn't had a venture in a long period of time. She's like saying that she used to be a singer. She had all this stuff. And I don't think she got it out of her system because she married so young and she had the kids and she was willing to give up that relationship for him. And now he's back in the picture. It's like if you hadn't had pie for so long and then all of a sudden you get that taste of pie and now you want the whole pie.
Warm apple pie.
Yes, with a little bit of like vanilla ice
Frank,
cream
don't
like
get that
that.
warm apple pie,
with
too?
I might have to stop by Marie Callender's real quick.
They have the best warm apple pie.
Oh my gosh. And the Dutch though with the little crumbles.
It's so good.
And like
You
some
can't-
vanilla ice cream on top.
Yeah, with some whipped cream and sprinkles. Oh my
This is why I'm
gosh.
jealous. Gym.
Right. I'm like, this is why I'm jealous of the body because I can't.
You can go with me at 5 o'clock in the morning if you want.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll be there. So my
save your
prediction
treat.
is no. I do. I need to get better. I really do. But yes, I think it's just going to be a whole bunch of mess with the mom, the Frank new character, and then Paul. He's going to find out. And well, I don't know if he'll find out like next week, but he's definitely gonna find out maybe like the week after that what's going on with them. Niecy, I feel like she's on the right track. So they brought up the whole like she share her little mom tips or whatever like that. So I feel like they may take her into the direction of maybe vlogging or doing vlogs and things like
getting
that.
it together.
So I'm happy for Niecy. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Just
looks
be
like
nicer to her friend a little bit.
it looks like the family, like everybody who was like telling Niecy that she needs to get better, she gets better, and then everybody else is getting messy. So I mean, it's a nice flip of the script because now Grandma's gonna be kicked out of the house.
For late night creep.
I'm liking
telling
these
you.
predictions.
So
So what can you tell us, Sonia, without telling us?
What I can tell you without telling you is there is going to be a big bomb dropped, and everyone's going to be like, "What?" So I will just say that. I will say that. Like, what?
maybe one of the kids is by him.
What if
She didn't tell me.
Jay?
Yeah, just saying. It's almost like Chloe and OJ.
Don't come to Chloe. She's my favorite.
I like Chloe too, but it's just kind of funny.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That is
And she
a
didn't
good
tell. And she
one.
didn't tell her. It's possible.
You know what, Sonia? I need to know. It's just us.
like,
We're
It's
just
gonna
hanging
get
out.
juicy.
We're just friends. Just a few of us here. You can tell us. But I
I would say
do.
you guys are perceptive.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say.
Okay.
Y'all are perceptive with your predictions.
I
Okay.
can't wait.
I see why you do this.
Next Tuesday,
You're
hurry up.
good. You're good.
Exactly. I agree with El Marie about Niecy. I think I predict that she's going to just expand this business. Niecy's got to become a boss.
Yeah.
And it's about time.
It is.
It's definitely about time. And Grandmama, she going, Miss Helen, please
Miss
don't.
Helen needs to get her groove back too.
No.
Paul needs to take some Viagra.
Let Paul just be great.
I'm just saying, you might need some assistance to be great. A little hair pull and some Viagra, you might just keep her.
Because I was about to say that Viagra's only gonna, stiffen it
Yeah,
out. That
but
ain't
I'm
gonna
just,
make it.
yeah, but I mean, some Kama
Work or
Sutra.
get in.
or-
Like-
just saying, go to some strip clubs, see how it's all done.
Bless his heart.
Oh, Lord, thank you for Sex Ed 101. I appreciate that. Well, Sonia, is there anything else that we should be on the lookout for? Any up-and-coming projects? Any charity events? What should we be looking for?
Well, I'm always attending charity events. I'm all about charity. Sometimes I'm a charity case. No. Well, I'm actually currently filming a thriller right now. It's called Thicker Than Water. A lot of crying, blood and tears. But that's exciting. Honestly, I have no idea when it's going to come out or, when the next project will be after that. But that's what's currently going now. I'll be
Get
filming
that check,
after the end of
girl.
the month. Yeah. So that's fun. Yeah.
Definitely. Well, we appreciate you stopping by.
Definitely.
We
you.
appreciate you all listening, watching us here. If you're new to AfterBuzz, welcome. If you've been here before, what's up? I'm one of your hosts, Howard III. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at Howard III. Definitely use the hashtag ABTV BMJ for us to see your tweets. Sonia, where can we find you again on your social
In
media?
Sonia Rockwell. You can find me at Sonia Rockwell on Instagram, Twitter, Sonia Rockwell1, and Facebook, Sonia Rockwell.
And I'm El Marie. You guys can find me on Instagram and on Twitter at El Marie TV.
You can find me on everything.
My name change, TK.
You can find me on
Diddy moment. Sorry.
You can find me on everything at TK Trinidad. I think I'll be here next week, but I'm not sure after today.
She'll
It's
be
up to
here.
Mr. Howard.
You know you coming back, TK. Oh my gosh. All right. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We will see you all later.
Ciao.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.